The following matchup is being played with HistoryMaker Baseball Express, a fast-playing baseball simulation board game, a property of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Welcome to today's episode of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. In today's episode, oh boy, do we have a good treat for you on hand, as we are going to feature another episode of Cross Era Showdown, as we are going to feature the 1984 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays, as these two teams were the top 10 in as the best teams through 40 games. The Tigers, of course, went 35-5, while the Rays went 30-10. Who will come out on top of this matchup and be declared the best team through 40 games? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out for yourself, because game one is coming up really shortly here. But first, let's take a look and say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of Cross Era Showdown as part of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. We would like to take this time to say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. First and foremost, thank you to Biddy Beer for sponsoring every mid-game and end-of-game summary throughout every episode of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. And again, we remind you, if you choose to drink Biddy Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a Biddy price. It's Biddy Beer. They say it's a blend of hops, rice, and barley that gives Biddy Beer its distinctive taste, but we know better. It's our brewing process that gives our beer that one-of-a-kind flavor that no premium beer can match. Our bats have never been cleaned, so there's an itty-bitty bit of history in every can. Biddy Beer, the beer for folks who can't afford better. And by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the Play Games community. And every game that we go to extra innings, it is a Doc Cola extra innings ball game. Doc Cola uses the finest imitation ingredients to bring you that sugary blast of caffeine you've come to know and love. With twice the sugar and 3 times the caffeine of any other major brand, Doc Cola is sure to keep you wired from dawn till dusk. So take the Doc Cola challenge and see why our customers agree. You'll never be able to wean yourself from a refreshing Doc Cola. And by Pizza Kingdom. At Pizza Kingdom, our signature New York style pizza starts with the crust. Then we layer on a homemade pizza sauce, and then load your pizza up with mounds of cheese. When it comes out of the oven, it's piping hot, golden brown, and ready for you to enjoy. And then we give that majestic culinary work of art to Mickey, our 16-year-old delivery driver who's as responsible as a tree stump. Pizza Kingdom, it's sheer perfection when it left the store. And by Suncoast Capital. At Suncoast, we live by one simple rule of investing. When your clients win, we win. And when our clients lose, we win, sort of. Suncoast Capital. You know we're gonna get all of your money anyway. And by Rubicon Wireless. Why pay $200 a month for wireless service when you can get 4 lines for just $25 a month? With our tin can plan, you can access our wireless network that covers at least 25% coast to coast between the hours 11 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. with unlimited text and messaging between those hours, of course. So why pay for a service you cannot live without? Yeah, we're just about set and ready to go for game one of this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays and the 1984 Detroit Tigers. A little quick mention why you saw on the thumbnail, best through 40 is what we're calling this episode of Cross Era Showdown. These two teams were in the top, I want to say in the top 10, 15, or 20 teams uh, throughout baseball history through 40 games to have a winning record. For the Tigers, they started their season, of course, 35-5. The Tampa Bay Rays started their season uh, probably not as big as you would hope to think for the to challenge the 84 Tigers, but it is really funny. It is really funny because so the best record overall through 40 games in MLB belongs to the 84 Tigers at 35-5. With that being said, the Padres, the 2023, excuse me, the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays started their season at 30-10 through the first 40 games, which they lost in the wild card to the Texas Rangers 2-0. So again, these two teams were in the top 15 of the best records through 40 games played for each of their season. And we're going to determine which team was the best. Was it the 84 Tigers or was it the Tampa Bay Rays? Let's find out together. Your pitching matchup for game one is as follows. Dave Rozema will be on the hill for the Tigers, and Zach Littell will be on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, all three games in this episode are being played with History Maker Baseball Express as Yandy Diaz is going to get ready to step up to the plate against Dave Rozema of the 1984 Detroit Tigers. It's time to play ball between these two teams, these two top 15 best through 40 teams between the 2023 Rays and the 1984 Detroit Tigers. And again, before we get first pitch underway, Vidal Brujan will start at short as we're not going to include Wander Franco as part of this series. So with that being said, let's play ball from Tiger Stadium for game one of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. 1-2-5 is what we're going to begin with. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, I play it as 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh. So therefore, Rozema is still fresh. We have a champion batter on Yandy Diaz. We have a semi-champ, and the decider die says we do not. So therefore, it'll be a no-runs result of a 2 dot, and that is going to seal up the deal for the first half inning here at Tiger Stadium with your score, Tampa Bay 0, and the Tigers are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. One, 5-6. Ace on Littell. He's not. Sad sack on Lou Whitaker. No. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Littell has flash. Therefore, from 6 to a 5, that's going to put Lou Whitaker on at going to put runners on at second and third for Alan Trammell to hit off the men on base chart. 24, Goldfielder makes the out. Vidal Brujan is the shortstop for this game, is going to be the shortstop no matter what. So, therefore, he is a neutral fielder. So, therefore, it will be an error scoring 1 run for the Tigers as they are now in front 1-0 over the Padres as runners advance 1 base, runners at the corners for Kirk Gibson. 14. Scrapper hits single. Gibby is not a scrapper. That is going to be a bases clearing double, and the Tigers grab hold of a 3-0 lead thanks to a bases clearing double from Kirk Gibson. 46. Same reliever gets a strikeout. And again, when we say same, it's righty versus righty, lefty versus lefty. Since we have a righty in Parrish and a right-handed pitcher in Littell, unfortunately, Lance Parrish is going to strike out. That is going to do it for the first inning of play. The 84 Tigers grab a 3-0 lead over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 133. Ace on Rosema. No. 133. Satsak on Isak Paredes. No. That is going to be an RBI question mark, Jack. And it seems the decider die says no. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to end things here in the top half of the second. The Tigers hang on to a 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the second inning here at Tiger Stadium. 1-2-2. Struggler on Littell. No. Champ on Evans. No. That is going to be a no runs result. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Struggler on Littell. No. Champ on Evans. No. Sorry, I read that right. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 2 blank. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 2 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score, Tigers 3, Rays nothing. $355. Star on Rosema. No. Champ on Randy Arozarena. He is not. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 3 dot. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 3 innings here. Excuse me, the first 2.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score, Tigers 3, Rays nothing. 334. Star on Littell. He's not. Utility on Herndon. He's not. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. Littell has double control. So from 3 to a 1, that is going to place Herndon on at first base for Jet Lemon. 14. Scrapper hits single. Lemon is not a scrapper, so therefore that is going to be a bases clearing double, and the Tigers add on to their lead. It's 4-0 now, so therefore Lemon will go on at second. We continue to roll on the men on base chart for Dave Bergman as we do see the bullpen going for the Rays. 16. Good eye. No, Dave Bergman does not have a good eye, unfortunately. So therefore, it will be a strikeout to end the third inning here at Tiger Stadium, but not before the Tigers add on another run. The score now is Tigers 4 and the 2023 Rays nothing. $344. Workman on Rosema. He's not. Sad sack. Yes, sad sack on Harold Ramirez. He is not. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of control. Dave Rosema has double control. So therefore, from 4 to a 2, that'll put Ramirez on at second base for Manuel Margot. 46. Same reliever gets the strikeout. And again, righty versus righty, lefty versus lefty. Since we have a right-hander batter versus a right-handed pitcher, Dave Rosema will get the strikeout of Manuel Margot to end the top half of the fourth. The Rays threaten but do not score. Here in their half of the fourth, we go to the bottom half of the inning with the score, Tigers 4, Rays nothing. Timeout. It seems that the Tampa Bay Rays manager has gone to the bullpen as he brought in Colin Pache as he has ace, flash, and semi control for this at bat against Howard Johnson. Pache will have the full extent use of the control quality. With that being said, we resume action here in the bottom half of the fourth with the 84 Tigers in front of the Tampa Bay of the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays 4-0. You know? And sorry about that. I hit the wrong button on my score bug control panel here. So we're ready to resume with a 1-2-6. 1-2-6. Here we are. Struggler or Gilded on Pache. He's not. Hero on Johnson. He's not. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Howard Johnson has semi home run king. However, he does not have it according to the decider die. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 6 blank. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 4 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score. The 84 Tigers 4 and the 2023 Rays nothing. 3-3-4. Star on Rosemont. No. Utility on Siri. He's a semi-utility. The decider dice. Excuse me. He's a full utility. So therefore, it will be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 4.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score. Tigers 4, Rays nothing. Four, 5-5. Workman. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I was correct. Workman on Pache. No. Utility on Lou Whitaker. No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash or control. Colin Pache has flashed, so that 5 will be reduced to a 4. And according to the decider die, we're back to him having semi-control since he would had full control for Howard Johnson. And according to the decider die, he does not have control. So from 5 to a 4, runners at the corners for Lou Whitaker's best double play partner, Alan Trammell. 13. Fresh relief pitcher gets the pop out. Colin Pache is considered the fresh pitcher and the bullpen arm for the Tampa Bay Rays. So therefore, he will get the pop out to end the 5th inning here at Tiger Stadium with your score. Tigers 4 and the Rays nothing. 3-5-6. Workman on Rosemont. No. Champ on Christian Bethencourt. He's not. That is going to be a no runs result. Yes, no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Oh, but the black die is not a 6, though, aka the white number. So therefore, will be a no runs result of a 5 dot. And that will seal up the deal for the first 5.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score. Tigers 4 and the 2023 Rays nothing. 1-3-6. 1-3-6. Here we are. Ace on Pache. No. Hero on Gibby. He's a semi-hero, and the decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, it'll be a men on base result with a 1-3-6. Here we are. With a base running adjustment. Gibby is a semi-active runner, and the decider die says he's not. So therefore, that 1 is going to stay put, putting him on at first base for Lance Parrish. He will take his hacks off the men on base chart. With a 25, iron fielder commits the error. Taylor Walls is not a iron fielder, so therefore that is going to be a ground out to end the first 6 innings here at Tiger Stadium. The score remains 84 Tigers 4 And the 2023 Rays, nothing. Dave Rozema will retain his semi-flash, or excuse me, his semi um, fresh quality since he is still pitching some shutout baseball. 266. Star on Rozema, no. Champ on Yandy Diaz. He's a semi-champ. The decider die says he is. Therefore, it'll be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Yandy Diaz is a semi-stoic, or excuse me, is a stoic runner. So from bases loaded to second and third, that's a huge break for the 84 Tigers. But that'll bring up Brujan off the men on base chart. 55, batting team dissonant or pitching team harmonious. And again, no team has taken full advantage of who's dissonant or who's harmonious or not. So therefore, it'll be a single. Runners advance 2 bases, and the Rays are finally going to get on the board thanks to an RBI single from Vidal Brujan as he will trot his way to first base, and that'll bring up Isaac Paredes, and that'll prompt a mound visit by the catcher as Dave Rozema is hot. Oh boy. We continue as the catcher, Lance Parrish, decides to go calm down Dave Rozema after he gives up 2 runs to the Tampa Bay Rays. We do see the bullpen going to work for the Tigers here. With that being said, we continue on here in the top half of the 7th, for Isaac Paredes off the men on base chart. Wow. Unbelievable. 15. Scrapper hits double. Unfortunately, Isaac Paredes does not have a scrapper. So therefore, he just tied the game up from out of nowhere as the 2023 Rays make this a brand new ball game thanks to a 2-run home run by Isaac Paredes. And we head to the stretch, all knotted up at 4 apiece. Unbelievable. We go to the stretch here at Tiger Stadium with your score: 2023 Rays 4 and the 84 Tigers 4. 455. Workman on Pache. No. Utility on Evans. He's a full utility, so therefore it's going to be a no runs result of a 4 dot, and that is going to seal up the deal for the first 7 innings here for this ball game. Here for game 1 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. We have a whole new ball game, folks. We're all dead even at 4 between the 2023 Rays and the 1984 Detroit Tigers. Timeout. And we're just about set to resume play here in the top half of the 8th as the Tigers will bring in Sid Mong to pitch from the bullpen as he has semi-workman, semi-flash, and semi-control. We have a brand new ball game, and for this at-bat against Randy Arozarena, Sid Mong will have the full extent use of the workman quality. With that being said, it's a brand new ball game. We're all evened up at 4 here for game 1 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the 84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 135. Ace on Mong. No. Champ on Randy Arozarena. No, no. That is going to be a no runs result of a 1 dot. That's huge. Yes, 1 dot for flash and a blank for control. That is going to do it for the first 7.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score all dead even at 4 between the 84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 334. Star on Pache. No. Utility on Herndon. He's not. Excuse me, that is going to be a men on base result, -1 for the black die. If control, Pache has semi control. The decider die says he most certainly does. So therefore, from 3 to a 2, that'll put runners on at second base for Chet Lemon to hit off the men on base chart. Oh my word. 15. Scrapper hits double. Chet Lemon is not a scrapper. The Tigers are going to grab the lead thanks to a Chet Lemon 2-run home run. Oh my word. Unbelievable. So therefore, that is going to do it for the first 8 innings here at Tiger Stadium. The Tigers are looking to win game 1 of this episode, a Cross Era Showdown in the top of the 9th. Can the Rays find a way to tie things up and force extras? Let's find out. Go to the 9th inning with the Tigers up in front, 6-4 over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 4-4-5. Workman on Mong. Remember, he was a full workman for Randy Arozarena, but now he's back to semi-workman. And according to the decider die, he is. So therefore, it'll be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Ramirez is a neutral runner, so it will be runners at the corners for Manny Margot off the men on base chart. 35, control pitcher. Sid Monk is a semi-control pitcher. However, the decider die says he's not. The bases are loaded, full of Rays for Jose Siri off the men on base chart. 55, batting team dissonant or pitching team harmonious. Again, no team throughout the inaugural season of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour will be taking advantage of who's dissonant or harmonious or hot or who's cold. So therefore, it will be a single. 2 runs are going to come across to score. Runner on third scores, runner on second scores, and we're all dead even at 6, as it will be runners at the corners now as the runner on first goes to third. Oh boy, and that's going to bring up Christian Bethancourt. Can the Rays find a way to beat the 84 Tigers here in game 1? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out right now because we're resuming action on the men on base chart with a 36. Active batter gets runners advanced 2 bases single plus a stolen base. Unfortunately, Christian Bethancourt is not an active runner, so therefore it will be a contact result, and I usually roll the red die for my contact chart results. We have a 4. Champ or hero? Oh, Christian Bethancourt does not have it. The Tigers will have a chance to walk things off as it will be a ground out to end the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Pache has the opportunity now to send this game to extras to keep the Tigers at bay. We're all dead even at 6 between the 84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 4-6-6. Workman on Pache. No. 4-6. Yes. Hero on Bergman. No. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Unbelievable, folks. Dave Bergman, Colin Pache deposited a piece of cheese into the sweet spot of Dave Bergman. He has semi-slugger. The black die is a 6, and the decider die says he has slugger. Therefore, the Tigers, the 84 Tigers, are going to walk things off here against the Tampa Bay Rays. They gave it a ride, but their ride was not good enough as the 84 Tigers defeat the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays here in game 1 of this episode of of Cross Era Showdown by the final score of 7-6, thanks to a Dave Bergman walk-off solo home run. And we're just about set and ready to go for game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown, featuring the best teams through 40, the top 15 best teams. I should say two of the top 15 best teams through 40 games, as it is the '84 Tigers taking on the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. Your starting pitching matchups are as follows. Shane McClanahan will be on the hill for the Rays, while he will be opposed by Jack Morris of the Tigers. McClanahan has semi-star, full flash, and semi-control, as Jack Morris has semi-star, semi-flash, and semi-control. With that being said, can the Tigers go up 2-0, or will the Rays find a way to crawl back in this series to tie it up at 1, forcing a winner-take-all game back in the Motor City? With that being said, let's get this game underway here at Tropicana Field with Howard Johnson up at the dish against Shane McClanahan for Game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. We'll begin Game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown with a 1-1-2. Ace on McClanahan. Sad sack on Johnson. No. That's going to be an RBI question mark check, and unfortunately, the decider die says no. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 1 blank. And that's going to do it for the top half of the first. The Tigers come away with nothing, and the Rays are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. Brandon Lau will lead things off as he is the second baseman replacing Taylor Walls. Let's see here. 256. Here we are. Workman on Morris. No. Sad sack on Lau. No. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Jack Morris has semi-flash, and the decider die says he does. So therefore, from bases loaded to second and third for Yandy Diaz to hit off the men on base chart. 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, I play freshness for those of you tuning in for the first time as 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh. With that being said, since we're still in the full freshness innings, the Rays are going to, or excuse me, Jack Morris is going to get the Tigers back in the dugout to grab the bats as he will get the ground out of Yandy Diaz. The Tigers threaten but do not score. Or excuse me, the Rays threaten but do not score in their half of the first. We're all dead even at 0-0 after 1 inning of play. 3-4-4. Workman on McClanahan. He's not. Sad sack on Lou Whitaker. No. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of control. And it seems McClanahan has yes, he does. Semi-control. The decider die says yes, he does. So from 3 to a 2, that'll put Lou Whitaker on at second base for his good double play partner, Alan Trammell. 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Shane McClanahan has semi-control. The decider die says he does not. So therefore, that is going to end up being a base on balls. He walked him. It'll be first and second now for Kirk Gibson. He'll take his hacks off the men on base chart of a 13. Fresh pitcher or relief pitcher gets the pop out. And again, we're still in the freshest innings. Shane McClanahan is still considered fresh, so he will get the pop out. As the Tigers threaten but do not score here in the second inning at the Trop, we have no score through 1.5 innings of play. .355 star on Morris. He's a semi-star. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 blank for Flash and a dot for Control. That is going to do it for the first 2 innings here at the Trop. Your score remains at a big fat goose egg between the '84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 335. Struggler on McClanahan. He's not. Champ on Parrish. He's not. That's going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. Good start for McClanahan to keep the Tigers at bay. In order for the Rays to get a chance to climb into this one, we have no score for 2.5 innings of play for game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. 1-2-3. Workman or struggler on Morris. He's not. Hero on Isaac Paredes. He's not a hero batter. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 2 blank for Flash and a dot for Control. That's going to do it for the first 3 innings here at the Trop. Your score remains 0-0 between the '84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 135. 135. Here we are. Ace pitcher on McClanahan. No. Champ on Daryl Evans. He's not. That's going to be a no runs result. Back and forth we go. It'll be a no runs result of a 1 blank. That will seal up the deal for the first 3 innings here for game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the '84 Tigers and the 2023 Rays as they are deadlocked at a big fat goose egg. 114. Struggler on Morris. No. Champ on Randy Arozarena. He's not. That is going to be another no runs result, this time of a 1 dot for Flash and a blank for Control. That is going to do it for the first 4 innings here at the Trop with your score. Tigers nothing and the Rays nothing here in this heated battle between the best top 15 best teams with the best records through 40 games, with the 84 Tigers at 35-5 and the 2023 Rays at 30-10. 2-2-4. 2-2-4. Here we are. Ace pitcher on McClanahan. He's not. Utility on Lemon. Excuse me. Yes, utility on Lemon. No. So therefore, 2-2-4. Yep. Men on base result -1 for the black die if Control. And it seems McClanahan has semi-control, and it seems he doesn't. So according to the decider die, no utility, no. Yes, decider die was not used. McClanahan does not have control, so therefore that 2 will stay put, putting Lemon on at second base for Dave Bergman off the men on base chart. 35, control pitcher. McClanahan is semi-control. The decider die says he is. So therefore, that is going to be a ground out. The Tigers threaten but do not score here in the 5th inning here at the Trop, with your score remaining at a big fat goose egg. Who's going to break the tie? 2-3-4. Is Jack Morris not fresh? And again, we're in the semi-freshest innings now, as it is 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. And I go by as dot, he's fresh, blank, he's not. And again, according to the decider die, Jack Morris is considered fresh. So therefore, we ask, is Randy? Yes, Randy Arozarena batted. So Harold Ramirez now, is he a utility batter? It seems he is not. So therefore, that will be 2, 3, 4. Yes, men on base, -1 for the black die if control. So therefore, Jack Morris is semi-control. Yes, we checked to see if he was fresh or not, and he was. Oh, and this time, Morris does not have control. So go big or go home are the Rays. They'll place Ramirez on at third base for Manuel Margot. 55. Batting team dissonant or pitching team harmonious? Well, again, no team is taking advantage of who's hot and who's cold, or who's harmonious or who's dissonant. So therefore, Manuel Margot is going to deliver an RBI single, and the Rays are on the board first here in Game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown as they lead it 1-0 over the 84 Tigers. We continue to bat on the men on base chart with a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Howard Johnson is not an iron fielder, so therefore that'll be a ground out to end the first 6 innings, or excuse me, end the first 5 innings here at the Trop with your score: Rays 1 and the 84 Tigers nothing. Shane McClanahan going back to work with a 4.45. Excuse me, 4.45. Workman on McClanahan, no. Hero on Lou Whitaker. He's a semi-hero, and the decider die says he is not. So therefore, that'll be a no runs result of a 4 blank, and that is going to seal up the deal for the first 5.5 innings here at the Trop with your score, right? 2023 Rays 1 and the 1984 Tigers nothing. Two, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. Here we are. Workman on Morris. He's not. Sad sack on Francisco Mejia. He's not a sad sack. So therefore, that'll be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Morris has semi-flash, and the decider die says he does not. Workman, no. No, yes, decider die was not used. So Morris does not have a flash. So therefore, that too will remain put. We do see the bullpens going for the 84 Tigers as Brandon Lau will step up to the plate off the men on base chart. We got a 44. Wild pitcher? No, Jack Morris is not wild. So therefore, that's going to be a flyout to end the first 6 innings here at the Trop with your score: 2023 Rays 1 and the 1984 Tigers nothing. Shane McClanahan retains his semi-freshest quality with a 3.46. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, he still remains semi-fresh. However, the decider die says he is not. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Alan Trammell is a neutral runner. Uh-oh. You just loaded the bases up for Kirk Gibson. Oh, that's not what you want to do. 16. Bite my tongue. Good eye? Kirk Gibson does not have a good eye. So therefore, McClanahan will escape the bases loaded jam. Unbelievable. With a strikeout. And folks, what a performance Shane McClanahan is putting on here in Game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the 2023 Rays and the 1984 Detroit Tigers. We head to the stretch here at the Trop, and while these fine patrons here at the Trop sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," along with a good chorus of "God Bless America," we do see that bullpen excuse me, a new pitcher trotting in from the bullpen. We'll find out who that is after we take this really quick timeout. And it seems that Bill Scherr will be on the mound for the Tigers as he has ace and flash credited to his name. For this at bat against Yandy Diaz, Bill Scherr will have the full extent use of the semi star quality. With that being said, we continue to play here in the seventh inning with the 2023 Rays in front of the 84 Tigers, 1-0. We got triple two. So this is going to be oh my God, a ballpark check. Okay, so it seems we're at the Trop. Let me take a look here at the ballpark qualities for the Trop here. They are normal overall with an artificial turf. Ooh, okay, so neutral all around with an artificial turf. And again, for no runs, 2 blank. We have a 1. Small ballpark. Well, I I don't think so. The Trop is a neutral ballpark, so therefore it'll be a men on base result. And that will place Yandy Diaz on its second base. And off to the men on base chart we go for Vidal Brujan as he takes his hats off the men on base chart. 56. Patient batter draws the walk. Vidal Brujan is not a patient batter, so therefore that's going to be a contact result. And I roll the red die for my contact chart results. It's a 1. Okay, so first things first, we're going to look for a flash versus whiff for pitcher. We have a flash pitcher, but we have a semi-whiffer batter in Vidal Brujan. And in this case, the decider die says no. So therefore, the Rays are going to tack one more run onto the scoreboard. It's now 2-0. It's now in favor of the 2023 Rays of a score of 2-0 as we end the first 7 innings here at the Trop for game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the 84 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. McClanahan back to work with a 1-3-4. Ace pitcher on McClanahan. So far, he's pitching like one, but unfortunately, he does not have it printed out on his card. Is Lance Parrish a champion batter? It seems he's not. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 3 dot. And my goodness, folks, oh my word. I think that Rays manager is going over to Shane McClanahan. Hey, do you think you can go for one more to preserve our pen? And Shane McClanahan says, no problem. I can do just that for you. We'll see him in the top half of the 9th, the end of the bottom half of the 8th first with the 2023 Rays in front of the 84 Tigers here in game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown by the score of 2-0. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Here we are. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, Bill Scherr is the bullpen arm for the 84 Tigers. He is considered fresh for the remainder of the contest. Champion batter on Isaac Paredes. Wish he was, but unfortunately he's not. Therefore, it'll be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Isaac Paredes has semi-home run king. The decider die says yes, he does. Therefore, this one is going to hit one high, hit it far, and it is gone. Isaac Paredes just Isaac the ball out to deep on a line out to deep left field, hooking towards the pole, and it is fair, says the third base umpire down the left field line. And it is now 2023 Rays 3 and the 84 Tigers nothing. We head to the top half of the 9th. Last call for the 84 Tigers here in game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown with the score Rays 3 and the Tigers nothing. 146. Ace or dynamic on McClanahan. He's pitching like one so far, but unfortunately, he does not have it. Sad sack on Evans. Yes, on Evans. No, that'll be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. Shane McClanahan has semi control. The decider die says he does. Therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 6 and Shane McClanahan will pitch a complete game shutout against the 1984 Tigers as they tie up this episode of Cross Era Showdown at 1 game apiece between the 84 Tigers and the 2023 Rays as the 2023 Rays defeat the 84 Tigers here in Game 2 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown by the final score of 3-0. Winner takes it all once again for this episode of Cross Era Showdown between the 2023 Rays and the 1984 Detroit Tigers in this heated battle between two of the top 15 best teams through 40 regular season games, with the 84 Tigers marking their best record of 35-5 against the Rays 30-10. With that being said, it's time for Game 3 as Juan Berenguer will be on the mound for the Tigers. He will go up against Tyler Glasnow. Berenguer will have the semi-star and semi-flash, while Tyler Glasnow has semi-star, double flash, and semi-control. With that being said, we are from Tiger Stadium in front of a huge sold-out crowd here at the stadium. Who will be the one to take home the crown and the best team ever in the top 15 between the 2023 Rays and the 84 Tigers? And they will be known as the best team through the known as the best through 40 games champion. For this episode of Cross Era Showdown, it's time to find out as Berenguer says he's ready to go, and so is Randy Arozarena. Let's get right down to it for Game 3 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. We'll begin Game 3 of Cross Era Showdown with a 4-5-6. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, Berenguer is still fresh, and I play it as 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh. Champ on Randy Arozarena. He's not. So therefore, that is going to end up being a no-runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Randy Arozarena has semi-home run king. What a way to start. The decider die says he does. He crushed this one out the deep left. It is high, far, and gone. Randy Arozarena gives the Tampa Bay Rays a 1-0 lead over the 84 Tigers here in Game 3 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. We resume action in the bottom half of the first with Tyler Glasnow on the mound against Rupert Jones. 2-2-6. 2-2-6. Here we are. Ace pitcher for Glasnow. No. Sad sack on Rupert Jones. He's not. Therefore, that is going to end up being an RBI question mark result. And unfortunately for the 84 Tigers, the decider die says no. So therefore, that is going to do it for the first inning of play here at Tiger Stadium for Game 3 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown as the 2023 Rays lead the charge over the 84 Tigers 1-0. 0 after an inning of play. Two six. 226. Here we are. Ace on Berenguer. He's not. Utility on Harold Ramirez. He is not. Therefore, it'll be a RBI question mark check. This time, the black six was there, but the decider die says no. Therefore, this game remains at a 1-0 lead for the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays over the 84 Tigers. Here is part of Happy Birthday Detroit as we wrap up our festivities for the happy birthday for the birthday week for the city of Detroit, Michigan. One, 4, 5. Ace or dynamic on glass now. He's not. Satsack on Chet Lemon. He's not. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Glass now has double flash from 4 to a 2. That's a good start. Chet Lemon will be out on at second base for Dave Bergman. He'll take his hacks off the men on base chart of a 36. Active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single, lost the stolen base. Unfortunately, Dave Bergman is a neutral runner, so therefore that is going to be a contact result. And I usually roll the red die for my contact charts. And again, is the game tied? We have a 4. Champer Hero. Bergman is neither, so therefore the score remains at a 1-0 lead for the 2023 Rays, thanks to a ground out. And as the Tigers threaten but do not score, head to the third inning here at Tiger Stadium with the 2023 Rays in front of the 84 Tigers, 1-0. 235. 235. 235. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Star pitcher on Berenguer. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he's not. 235. Satsack on Manny Margot. He's not. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Berenguer has semi-flash. The decider die says he does. So that 2 will be reduced to a 1, putting Margot on a first base for Jose Siri off the men on base chart. 56. Patient batter draws the walk. Unfortunately, Siri does not have patience, so therefore it'll be a contact result. And again, the red die comes right back out again. Oh, and this time it's a 6. That is going to be an instant inning over on a ground out. And therefore, the score remains 1-0 in favor of the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays after 2.5 innings of play with a score of 1-0. 566. 566. Here we are. Star pitcher on glass now. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he's not. Utility on Howard Johnson. He's not. Therefore, it's going to be a men on base result. Oh, I'm sorry. Star pitcher, semi-star, decider die says no. Utility on Johnson. He's not. So therefore, that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Glass now has double flash from bases loaded to runners at the corners for sweet Lou Whitaker to bat off the men on base chart. Oh my God. 66. Scrapper hits a single. Lou Whitaker is not a scrapper. Therefore, it's going to be a bases clearing double, and the Tigers get on the board their first runs of the game, or excuse me, their first runs since the walk-off solo home run in Game 1 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown from Dave Bergman. Unbelievable. So that is going to snap the let's see here, 9 plus 3 will about, so wouldn't you say an 11 and 1 or 2/3 scoring scoring scoreless streak for Rays pitching? I would say about that. So we continue on the men on base chart for Alan Trammell off the men on base chart with a runner on at second base. Oh, it's an 11. Batting team harmony or pitching team dissonant. Well, again, no one has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or who's dissonant or not. So therefore, it will be a ground out. And that is going to do it for the first 3 innings here at Tiger Stadium, but not before damage was done thanks to Lou Whitaker delivering the first run since the walk-off solo shot by Dave Bergman in Game 1 as the Tigers lead it 2-1 over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 1-1-2. Ace on Berenguer. He's not. Satsack on Francisco Mejia. He's not. That's going to be an RBI question mark result. And unfortunately, the decider die says no. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 1 dot. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 3.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium for Game 3 of this episode of Cross Era Showdown. 84 Tigers hang on to a 2-1 lead over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 355. 355. 355. Here we are. Star pitcher on glass now. He's a semi-star, and the decider die says yes, he is. Therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 3 dot. That is going to seal up the deal for the first 4 innings here at the stadium with your score 84 Tigers 2 and the 2023 Rays 1. 136. Ace or excuse me. Yes, 136. Ace pitcher on Berenguer. He's not. Hero on Brandon Lau. He's not. Therefore, it'll be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Oh, Brandon Lau has semi home run king. However, the decider die says he does not have it. So therefore, it's going to be a no runs result of a 3 dot. And that is going to end the top half of the 5th. The score remains deadlocked at a 2-1 lead for the 84 Tigers over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 245. 245. Here we are. Struggler on glass now. He's not. Sadsack on Lance Parrish. He's not. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die. If flash or control, glass now has double flash, and that is all they need. Who knew? So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 4 dot. That is going to seal up the deal for the first 5 innings of Game 3 here for this episode. Cross Era Showdown as the 84 Tigers hang on to their 2-1 lead over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. 126. Struggler or gilded on Berenguer. He's not. Oh, excuse me. Hero batter on Yandy Diaz. He's not. Therefore, it's going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. The black die is not a 6, though. Yandy Diaz has slugger. The black die is not a 6, so therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 6 dot. And that is going to seal up the deal for the first 5.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with the 84 Tigers leading the 23 Rays 2-1. 1-2-3. One, two, three. Workman or Struggler on glass now? No. Champ on Evans? He's not. Therefore, it's going to be a no runs result of a 3-dot. That's going to seal up the deal for the first 6 innings here at Tiger Stadium, with your score remaining a 2-1 advantage for the 1984 Detroit Tigers. 1-3-5 as both pitchers are on their last legs here. Ace on Berenguer. He's not. Champ on Basabe. Basabe. He's not a champ. 1-3-5. Yes, not a champion. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 3-dot, and that'll take us to the stretch here at Tiger Stadium. While these fine folks sing a good chorus of God Bless America, along with a good rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, we do see a new bullpen arm trotting in for the bullpen for the Rays. We'll find out who that is after we take this really quick timeout. And the fine folks here in the Motor City, here at Tiger Stadium, and the fine good patrons here sing a good rendition of God Bless America, along with Take Me Out to the Ball Game, as we now see Sean Armstrong on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays, as he has ace, star, flash, and control, all full qualities. So therefore, for this at-bat against Rupert Jones, Armstrong will have the full extent use of the double flash quality. With that being said, the Tigers hang on to a 2-1 lead over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. We resume play here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. 2-4-5. Excuse me. Struggler on Armstrong? No. Satsack on Jones? No. That'll be a men on base result, -1 for the black die if flash or control. And it seems Armstrong has, remember, we gave him double flash, so that 4 will be reduced to a 2. He also has control, so that 2 will be reduced to a 1. So that is huge. That is going to put the runner on at first base. It could have been runners at the corners, but instead it'll put Jones on at first base for the men on base chart roll for Chet Lemon. We got a 12. Slugger hits home run. Unfortunate, unfortunate, unfortunate. How unfortunate this is. Rays fans, you might want to look away, because this one is going to be hit high, hit far, and gone. Chet Lemon delivers a 2-run home run and delivers the Tigers a 4-1 lead, as we now head back on the men on base chart for Dave Bergman. 55, batting team to Sonnet or pitching team harmonious. And unfortunately, Dave Bergman, no team throughout this inaugural season of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour will take full advantage of who's Sonnet or harmonious, or who's hot and who's cold, or whatever. So therefore, it will be a single, putting him on at first base for Howard Johnson. We got an 11. Batting team harmony, batting team harmony or pitching team dissonant. Well, again, no team has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or dissonant or not. So therefore, it will be a ground out, but not before damage was done. The 84 Tigers add on to their lead. It's now 84 Tigers 4 and the 2023 Rays 1. Timeout. And it seems the 84 Tigers have brought in their closer, Willie Hernandez, to hopefully wrap this game up in a beautiful Christmas themed box with a nice little Christmas themed bow. Ship it out to Tampa Bay with love from Detroit. With that being said, Willie Hernandez has ace, flash, and control. But for this at bat against Isaac Paredes, uh, Hernandez will have the full extent use of the double flash quality. With that being said, it's 84 Tigers 4, 2023 Rays 1 as we enter the top half of the 8th inning. 1-3-4. Ace on Hernandez. He is an ace. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result. And again, Willie Hernandez has double flash for this at bat against Isaac Paredes. So when the stats tell for Willie Hernandez, we will give him the double flash mark for this at bat against Isaac Paredes. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 1 blank, and that will seal up the deal for the first 7.5 innings here at Tiger Stadium with your score 84 Tigers 4 and the 23 Rays 1. 3-4-4. Workman on Sean Armstrong. He's not. Sad sack on Lou Whitaker. Get out of here. When is Lou Whitaker ever a sad sack? So therefore, it will be 3-4-4. Workman no. Sad no. Yes. Minus my non-base result -1 for the black die. If control, Sean Armstrong has full control, so that 4 will be reduced to a 3. The Tigers are in no rush. They're going to place the runners on at first and second for Lou Whitaker's best double play bud, Alan Trammell. Oh my, this Rays fans, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to look away again because this one is hit high, hit far, and Alan Trammell just busted the floodgates wide open. Unbelievable. It's a 3-run home run because Alan Trammell does not have a scrapper. So therefore, it is a home run, a 3-run home run to be exact, as the 84 Tigers lead it over the 23 Rays 7-1. Last call for the 23 Tampa Bay Rays with Randy Arozarena up at the dish. 1-6-6. Ace on Willie Hernandez. Yes, sir. That is going to be a no runs result of a 6 dot, and that is going to be the ball game. The final score, thanks to a monster, and I mean a monstrous 3-run home run by Alan Trammell. The Tigers, the 84 Tigers, will retain their best through 40 games crown over the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. Man, oh man, as the 84 Tigers defeat the 23 Rays 2-1, they win game 3, as they would allow only 1 run thanks to an Isaac Paredes solo home run, as the 84 Tigers defeat the 23 Rays by the final score of 7-1. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour as we featured the best through 40 team games played between the 1984 Tigers and the 2023 Tampa Bay Rays. Well, it seems we ran out of time for today, but never fear. Let's see what's coming up next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. And it seems, man, oh man, folks, we're going to have a sort of little impromptu rivalry week here, but we're not naming it officially a rivalry week, but it is East versus West, as we're going to have the 2012 Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim take on the 2012 Detroit Tigers as Mike Trout and Miguel Cabrera go at it in an MVP caliber showdown. Who will come on top of this showdown? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out for yourself next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour that was being played with History Maker Baseball Express. We look forward to bringing you more matchups of Rivalry Night, World Series Rewind, Cross Era Showdown, and a blast from the past as we revisit some classic and memorable games from Major League Baseball throughout the 2026 Major League Baseball regular season.